So today I'm going to go through some of the books that are on my TBR for 2024, and there is a lot. I'm going to go through my anticipated reads first. So these are all the new releases that are coming in 2024 that I literally cannot wait for. I cannot wait. So the first one is If Only I'd Told Her by Laura Nolan. I am literally not ready for this book. This is the second book to If He Had Been With Me, and honestly that book ruined me. And I think If Only I'd Told Her has Finney's point of view in it, which I have no words. I have no words. So I'm really excited for that. It's coming out 6th of February this year, and that honestly seems so soon. So soon. That's like a month away. Oh my god. The next one that I actually can't believe is so soon is coming out February 13th, and that is Magnolia Park's Into the Dark. You know by now how much I'm obsessed with the Magnolia Parks universe. And I literally go on and on about the ending of Magnolia Park's The Long Way Home, and I just cannot wait to see where Jessica Hastings takes it in Into the Dark. And I'm also really scared to find out, but I can't wait at the same time. So I'm really, really excited for that one. My battery died. So the framing looks a bit different, that's why. Where was I? So Holly Jackson is releasing a new book in April. I think it's April 2nd. And Holly Jackson for me is one of those authors that I automatically want to buy her books just because I love the way that she writes. And she's releasing a book called The Reappearance of Rachel Price, which I am so looking forward to. So this is about a girl whose mum went missing, and their family basically agreed to do a documentary on her mother's disappearance. And I'm guessing things get uncovered, guessing they find out some things they didn't know before. And yeah, it just sounds really, really good and right up my street. The next one is coming out April 23rd, and that's Funny Story by Emily Henry. I love Emily Henry's writing. I want to read all of her books this year. I read Happy Place last year, absolutely loved it. It was one of my top books of the year, and I'm just really excited for Funny Story. And I think this has the forced proximity trope in it because I think they have to live together for some reason, and they're like complete opposites. And yeah, it just sounds so good, and like I said, I love her writing, so I'm really looking forward to that one. And then we have Daydream by Hannah Grace, which is coming out June 4th. This is the third one in the Maple Hill series, which you guys know by now. I loved Icebreaker, I loved Wildfire, I just love this whole world and these characters, and Daydream is Henry's story. I feel like everybody that has read Icebreaker and Wildfire just has been waiting for Henry's story, and I'm so excited for it. I also think it's back on campus as well. So Icebreaker was set on the college campus, Wildfire was set in the summer at a summer camp, and I believe Daydream is going to be set back on campus, which I love because I just love that whole uni college setting and vibe. So they're just some of my top anticipated reads for this year. New releases that are coming that I literally can't wait for. And now let's move on to my physical TBR. So these are the books that I have now that I'm planning on reading at some point this year. So starting off with a Lisa Jewell book. I've read quite a few Lisa Jewell books. I love her writing. I think it's so easy and fast paced, and I just love the way she writes. And I would love to have read every single book that she has written. And one of the books that I haven't read of hers is Invisible Girl. I never see anybody talk about this, so I'm really interested to see what it's like. What I got from the back is that it's about a girl who goes missing, and there's a boy that basically gets accused for her disappearance. I'm just so interested to see what this is like. The next one is another thriller, and that is The Maidens. I'm so excited for this one. This is the same author as The Silent Patient, and I loved The Silent Patient. It was one of the books that got me into reading, and I'm just so excited for this. It's basically about an exclusive society at Cambridge Uni, and one of the members of this society gets murdered, and I just think it's going to be about what happened. I feel like this society is going to have a lot of secrets revealed. it just sounds really good and I'm really looking forward to it. And then we have another thriller, which is The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley. I read The Guest List last year and absolutely loved it. It was my first Lucy Foley book that I've read, and then actually at the minute I'm reading The Hunting Party by her, which I'm also really enjoying. And a few of you actually saw that I was reading that and recommended that I read The Paris Apartment, which was already on my TBR as well. So I just feel like I'm gonna love this because a lot of the recommendations that you guys give me are so spot on and they're already books that I have on my TBR. This is another murder mystery book set in Paris. And then we have Twisted Games. Now, I read Twisted Love and I'm not gonna lie, wasn't my favourite book ever. I just didn't connect with it in the same way that a lot of people do. It's one of those books that I did enjoy reading and I still would recommend it to people if I thought that they were gonna like it. And I'd still recommend it if it intrigues you to go and read it because you might absolutely love it because so many people love that book. But it just wasn't for me. But having said that, I'd heard a lot of people say that Twisted Games was actually way better than Twisted Love. So I thought, why not give it a go and see if I like this one better than I liked the first one. And like I said, I did enjoy reading Twisted Love, it just wasn't my favourite. So I think I'm going to enjoy reading this. I just hope that I like it more than I liked the first one. So we shall see. And next we have one of the ones that I'm probably most excited for, and that is The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I don't know what it is about this book, but I just feel like I am going to absolutely love it. From what I got, it's about these exceptional teenagers that help the FBI solve cold cases. And I've heard a lot of people say that it's like Criminal Minds, and I love Criminal Minds, so I just feel like I'm gonna love this book. And it just feels like it's gonna be different to anything I've read before, which I'm really excited about. And then we have The Road Trip by Beth O'Leary. I read The No-Show last year and absolutely loved it. I rave about that book. And I just feel like I'm gonna love this one as well. It just gives me real summer vibes, which I'm all here for. So it's about two sisters that are on their way to a wedding and they get into a car crash and the person that's driving the other car is one of their exes. Stop it right now. And then they basically all have to ride together for the rest of the journey. I mean, come on, come on. I'm so excited for this. So I read a lot of romance, thriller, murder mystery type books, but I really want to get into fantasy. I feel like this year is going to be my fantasy era year. But I'm not going to lie, the thought of diving into a really complicated fantasy with a lot of world building scares me. It scares me. So the next two books are books that I think are going to kind of ease me into the fantasy world, and I feel like they're going to be a good place to start. So the first one is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I have heard so many good things about this. So many good things. I don't really know that much about it. I kind of want to go in blind and just see what I think of it, but I know that it's a romantasy, which is kind of nice because I feel like that's a nice segue from all the romance that I'm used to reading into fantasy. And then the second fantasy is Shatter Me, which I've heard so many mixed things about this, but I just feel like I'm gonna love this because I read the back and I love the concept of it. It's basically about a teenage girl who is held captive, kept away from the world because her touch can be fatal. And again, I think this has romance in it as well, which I am all here for. And then we have Flawless by Elsie Silver, which is the first book in the Chestnut Springs series. This series I feel like everybody is talking about, and I just really want to see what all the hype is about. All I really know is that it's a cowboy romance and I just feel like I'm gonna love it. Next we have a Frida McFadden book. I read The Housemaid last year and I just love the way she writes. I've heard so many good things about all of her books and I just really want to read more Frida McFadden books. And one of the ones that I'm most excited about is Never Lie. So this is about a disappearance of a renowned psychiatrist, and the person that's looking for the psychiatrist comes across these audio transcripts from their sessions with their patients. It just sounds so interesting and I just feel like I'm gonna love it. And then we have The Hike by Lucy Clarke. Lucy Clarke wrote The Castaways, which I absolutely loved. I love the way she writes thrillers. They're so fast paced, they're so gripping, they're real page turners and I cannot wait for this one. So there are some of the books on my 2024 TBR. I feel like more will get added throughout the year, but they're just some of the ones that I'm so excited to read this year. And let me know some of your most anticipated reads this year. I'd love to know. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this video and I will see you in my next one.